Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene offered an amendment on Thursday that immediately went down in flames. And I mean, really badly. Okay, it did very poorly. In fact, Greene's proposed amendment would have forbidden President Joe Biden from selling oil from the strategic reserve. It failed 14 to 418. Yes, 13 people joined Marjorie Greene in what is probably one of the most disastrous defeats I have seen. Wow. Now, before I get into the mocking, here are some of the details. So, look, the strategic reserve, I think we're all pretty familiar with what it is and what it's used for. It's set aside for the times where you have like an instability in oil prices. For example, look, Russia invading Ukraine, obviously that's a big problem, sent oil prices up a lot higher. It was established during, of course, the issues in the 1970s where you had the Arab oil embargoes. And so, look, the whole point of the reserve is to, again, you release it, you sell some on the world market because it is a world market. And then that is supposed to increase the supply and lower the price for gas. That makes sense. Now, look, if you're a politician, it would be even more sensible to, before an election, for example, release a little bit from the strategic reserve. And, it's strategically helping your poll numbers because rightly or wrongly, and in this case, wrongly, there are a lot of voters who think that the president controls gas prices. Now, generally, again, this is all due to market forces and supply, but releasing from the strategic reserve can have the effect of, again, increasing the supply and lowering gas prices, which is, again, good for your election. Makes sense. Now, that said, when energy prices spike, fossil fuel companies obviously get richer at the expense of everyone else who ends up feeling a lot more pain in the pump. So Marjorie Greene, what's interesting about her is that she had spent a lot of time complaining about the price of gas. Hey, that makes sense. We all complained about gas, right? Now she also complained about inflation. And yet, her amendment would have ensured that gas prices wouldn't go down because there wouldn't be an increase in supply. And the reason, of course, is that, okay, there's a couple of reasons. For one, I don't think Marjorie Greene knows what she's doing because she's, stupid. Yeah, maybe.
Peachtree dish.
Okay, but anyway, not very bright, but also more importantly because she loves fossil fuel corporations. Because there are things that she could actually propose, yeah, and they might not do very well, obviously, but things that she could propose that might actually make sense when it comes to her claimed stated goals of domestic energy and American energy, etc. Because understand, her amendment was aimed at mainly stopping Joe Biden from selling oil to, she says, China. Really, it would be, if anything, state-owned subsidiaries, whatever, right? Or subsidiaries of state-owned oil companies, etc. And that's fine because you know what? The market, how it works is that it's a global market. That's it. Global supply helps set the price. Oil companies own the leases to federal land, at least in America, right? They extract the oil and they sell it on the global marketplace. That's it. That's why there's no such thing as American oil, American energy. That's always been a lie. It doesn't matter where it's drilled from, or extracted from, if it belongs to a private multinational corporation, because that's exactly what's going on right now. It's not Americans. Like, for example, BP has a rig, probably does, in like Alaska. Well, it's not Alaska's oil. It's BP's oil. They dug it up. And of course, the federal government allowed them to do so by leasing land to these private corporations. That's it. So now, a way to fix that, I suppose, if you really do care about keeping energy domestic and not dealing with the global marketplace is you could, well, be in favor of renewable energy, for one. And I'm talking solar, wind, geothermal, hydro, nuclear, etc., right? That kind of energy. All those things can be produced and used here domestically. Okay? Now, the other thing that she could do, and I've talked about it before, is she could support nationalizing natural resources like oil and natural gas. Now, would she do that? No, because something communism.
In Venezuela.
That's why Republican, and again, that would actually literally make it American energy, because it would stay in America if you nationalize it. Yeah. So anyway, like I said, not very smart.
Stupid.
So that said, people took some digs at Greene. And one of them happened to be her former friend turned enemy. That would be Lauren Boebert. Now, this is a very subtle dig, so it might have went right over her head. But here's what she said. Congress is working as it should be, and I'm proud to say that all 3 of my amendments passed today. I think, okay, maybe I'm reading into it too much, but I think that's a little bit of a dig. Well, at least my amendments passed today. I don't know about hers. All right. Someone that's more direct. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Now, she had an amendment that didn't pass either, and it was the psilocybin amendment. And so, that's the, psilocybin. I don't know why I blanked out on that. Medicinal mushrooms, right? Didn't pass, unfortunately, because it can be very helpful for people in a medicinal sense. That said, didn't pass, unfortunately. And here's what she said about it. Quote, "Woof, even my psilocybin amendment did better than this." Hey, that's, you know what? It's a little bit of humility and also still making fun of Marjorie Greene. Fun. And then finally, one last one. Reporter Michael Ordona said, "Oh, so close. So close." It's like that, I don't know if you remember that insurance company commercial where they had the fisherman with the dollar bill. He said, "Oh, almost got it. Oh, almost there." Although 418 to 14, not all that close. Not close at all. So now, what's funny about this is, look, Kevin McCarthy, House Speaker, in order to get into his nice little position, he had to give away a lot of his power. Okay? So one of the rules that he allowed was for anyone to put any amendments at any time. So how that applies here is now on every single bill, you're going to have like 1 billion amendments. Now, of those amendments, you're going to have some real funny ones. Ones that are just never going to see the light of day. They're never going to pass. And like this are going to be very, very stupid. This is one of them. This amendment. This was like the congressional version of a ratio on Twitter. Nope, just did not work out. Even the majority of our party said that's really stupid. And of course, the reason is, it turns out people don't want to pay more for gas. Because that's what would happen if her dumbass amendment had passed. So, there you go.